Epic Game Battles of History! South Park Snow Day versus Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League! Now, you all know how I feel about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This blight on the game, Rocksteady's record, made by a blight on the game industry, was one of the laziest, greediest, and most insulting games I've ever seen. I have made several videos talking about it, and I will make many more. But for this video, I will try to judge it and South Park Snow Day fairly. I'll compare their graphics, voice acting, worlds, gameplay, game style, characters, and story, and see which one comes out on top. First, the graphics. Point goes to Suicide Squad. With all the issues this game has, I have to admit that its graphics are top-notch. And they should be. This game was made by Rocksteady, the studio that gave us the Batman Arkham series, which when I heard they were making a game set in Metropolis, I was excited, because I knew it would look good, and it does. South Park Snow Day's graphics are okay. Many people compare them to the N64 South Park game, and the N64 did not have good graphics. So Suicide Squad gets the point. Next is the voice acting. Point goes to Suicide Squad. Yes, the voice acting and talent for South Park Snow Day are really good, but they did their job well. But in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, you have Tara Strong, Daryl Wilson, and Kevin Conroy. All are amazing voice actors and did a great job, even if the material they had to work with was sewer quality. Next is the world of the game. Point goes to Suicide Squad. South Park Snow Day's world is actually reduced from Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole. What is there is fun, but does not have the same scale as Suicide Squad's world. You can run around on the streets of Metropolis, jump and grapple up to different sized buildings, and even get high in the air and slam down on a group of enemies. South Park Snow Day has some climbing, but not nearly as much. Next is the gameplay. Point goes to South Park Snow Day. Now we get to what makes a game feel good, not just look good. South Park Snow Day's gameplay is way better than Suicide Squad's. And the reasons are simple. In Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, you mostly jump and shoot, because WB wanted that Fortnite money. Yes, you can flail around with a melee weapon to shield harvest and cause some damage, but it won't be as much as using the guns. Also, there are melee finishing moves, but they are sad whispers of what could have been. Imagine attacking enemies only with your character's signature weapon. Well, in South Park Snow Day, you can. Want to chip away at close range? Away HP at close range? The twin daggers are for you. Want to take chunks out of an enemy's health and have a devastating spin attack? Use the two-headed axe. Want a more balanced attack and defense playstyle? Then use the sword and shield. Want to cause long-range damage to a single target? Use the bow and arrow. Want to cause elemental damage to a group at long range? Use the wizard staff. Want to do it up close? Use the Harry Potter wand. And that's not all. Each weapon has upgrades. The daggers get a bleed effect and a dive attack. The sword and shield get upgraded to give you the ability to create a bubble shield that can deflect projectiles and passively heal your guy and their teammates. Then there's the abilities. Fart abilities, cat pee to confuse enemies, turrets, drones, and so much more. Then there's the upgrade cards. And the dark matter skill tree. Improve health, damage, and other stats, the collectibles that are in treasure chests you can find in the game. Remember that? That was so fun. The gameplay of South Park Snow Day blows the gameplay in Suicide Squad away. So he gets the point. Next is the game style. Point goes to South Park Snow Day. Both games have online elements, but while South Park Snow Days makes it so you can play with your friends and download DLC like new weapons and missions, Suicide Squad's online elements are a detriment to the game. It never should have been a live service. All being live service did was make it a worse game. Instead of having the horrible story last a few hours or days, they stretch it out for over a year. They have four-player co-op outfits you can buy for way too much money, $24 in some cases, and special seasonal weapons that should have been more playable characters. The main reason this game was online was to steal your money from you and to nerf and buff things. For example, there was a Firebase load out that made the game easier to play. A few days after it was discovered, it was patched out, and yet only 8 characters are playable. Kind of shows where their priorities were. For more evidence of that, let's go to the stories of the game. Boy goes to South Park Snow Day. There is no contest here. The story of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is one of the worst I've ever seen. Even its title was offensive. The Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Almost impossible. Justice League is made up of some of the most powerful heroes, most powerful heroes in the DC Universe. Superman by himself could destroy the Suicide Squad members you play as in the game. Batman almost did in the game. And so did Green Lantern and Flash. Why did they use these characters and not ones that could match the Justice League? Because the writers, Superman Incorporated, wanted those characters. Let's compare them to South Park Snow Days. Before I go to South Park Snow Day. Actually, both games have similar stories and characters. In both games, you play as 4 new characters, and you fight some of the most famous characters in their respective universes. The difference is South Park Snow Day respects those characters and doesn't lie about the new ones you play as. Harley, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, King Shark, Jonkler, Mrs. Freeze, Kimble Air, Lawless, and Old Man Deathstroke were never in any other Rocksteady game, at least not these versions. The Harley in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is different from the Harley from the Arkham series. The new one hates the Joker and is gay for Poison Ivy. Deadshot is clearly a knockoff of Black Deadshot, movie Deadshot, not white or Hispanic Arkham Deadshot. Deathstroke is old and doesn't want to fight Batman anymore because he's gone to therapy and did some healing. Boomerang, King Shark, Jonkler, Mrs. Freeze, and Kimble Air Lawless are all original fanfiction versions of other characters in the DC universe. But to increase sales, they lied and said that they were the same characters. People will still deny this today, but it's so obvious. And beyond that, well, you can customize both sets of characters. In South Park Snow Day, you can customize them more. You can change their hair, their clothes, and add facial features. All at launch for no extra cash. Also, if you want to play as a guy, give your character short hair. If you want to play as a girl, give your character long hair. Suicide Squad. In Suicide Squad, you have to play as fanfiction Harley, fanfiction Deadshot, fanfiction Boomerang, fanfiction King Shark, fanfiction Joker, fanfiction Freeze, fanfiction Lawless, and fanfiction Deathstroke. You can customize these characters for $24 an outfit and give them guns that may be useful for one season, but may have no use for the next one. The characters are better in South Park Snow Day, and the story is better than Suicide Squad 2. Like I said before, both games' stories are surprisingly similar. Both universes are turned upside down by a mind-controlling monster. The group of heroes that are the face of the franchise were blindsided by this monster, and some of them even fight with his power. A new group of nobodies appears for the first time in the game's universe. They fight against the famous heroes and defeat them. Then they fight against the mind-controlling monster and beat him. The difference is, in South Park Snow Day, the world is saved and the heroes are back to normal. In Suicide Squad's launch content, the heroes are dead, and there are more mind-controlling monsters to fight. Because of live service. Thankfully, after a whole year of nothing but padding and more crappy characters, the heroes are all alive, and the mind-controlling monster is dead. But the story ruined the game universe and the game studio that created it. I hope those that left find success, and I hope those that stayed will make better games, and that Sweet Baby will close up shop because they can't make good games. I hope WB also learns to treat his IPs better. They need the money. And that the people that made South Park Snow Day continue to have success. Because South Park Snow Day wins. This is an embarrassing defeat. A once great studio, Rocksteady, makers of some of the best Batman games ever, had the opportunity to make a game in Metropolis, starring the Justice League, and WB hired people that messed it up. South Park Snow Day is like AAA, it's like AA, not AAA, like Suicide Squad, and yet it has more content, especially at launch. Apparently, a revolution is coming to the game industry, as these once great AAA companies continue to fumble by making games with higher prices and less content, and making what content is left in their games uninteresting at least and insulting at worst. These smaller companies will swoop in along with new AAA companies all over the world, and give us games with more content and at more reasonable prices. The floundering AAA companies can continue down their path to destruction, or learn from their failures and stay in business. It's their choice, and it's our choice to vote with our wallets. I'm here, Will Cox, and RIP to Rocksteady and all the other studios you've lost, and welcome to all the new studios we've gained. South Park Snow Day 1. Who's next? I decide. Epic game battles of history.